Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Homebody running on the Steam Deck. Okay, let's see where it auto-saved me. There are no manual saves in this game, so this is the deal with what they give you. We were hiding in the closet the last time. So I don't know, is he going to remember that we were in the closet? Or something else is going on? Okay, so it doesn't remember we're in the closet. The last time I saved was 7? Oh my god, that was 4 hours ago in the game time. Oh, this is just right at the beginning. Well, that's a bummer. That's right, this is a big-ass book. Like I said, we're going to read it this sometime. I don't know if it has anything to do with the atmosphere or is related to the story in any way, or if it's just this big-ass volume that you could potentially read all the way up until the serial killer shows up and then be rudely interrupted. Huh, there's a paste missing from the book. Next to it are 4 vertically stacked colored bars. Is this like art, or what does it mean? Alright, we'll go through our conversation trees. Wait, you guys high? Yeah. A little, yeah. Want some? Later, sure. Cliff was kind of shitty when I said hi to him. Have you noticed anything? No, I haven't. You know how cold he can be. I'm sure he's just being shitty for shittiness sake. He's avoiding eye contact, Harry. Emily, I get startled when Cliff does make eye contact. But now that I think about it, he's been rude to me too. He has been himself when he isn't talking to Gary. I guess he just chalked that up to him being a jerk. There's a lock on the front door. Do you know why? What? Did you try unlocking it? It's not on the door itself. It's in a separate machine. Oh, shit. So we're trapped inside until we figure out the lock out? He said the homeowner was weird about silverware. He's weird about everything. He left us a huge binder of instructions on how to lock doors and organize closets. Is it supposed to protect him or us? That's a great question. There are grapefruit spoons in there, after all. I guess this place was just his whole world for too long. He knew it inside out, where everything was supposed to be. Oh, and also, we just found out Mr. Ness was really specific that he didn't want any knives in the house. Knives? Why? No idea. Cliff's in the kitchen cutting up eggplant with a knife from a McDonald's breakfast. Where's Pete? I don't think anyone's heard from him today. He said he'd be here by like 6, but you beat him here. Y'all were actually in touch with him? I haven't heard from him in forever. Huh? Neither have I, really. What's the plan for tonight? This is pretty much the plan, sitting here and gaming. Cliff is working on dinner right now, but he keeps saying he should be done soon. This house is amazing. Oh yeah, it is wild. Oh yeah, isn't it wild? It gives off major Seventh Guest vibes. Remember when we bought an old copy of that game at Goodwill? The box was worn like someone had thrown it across the room. We had to make a choice between it and a particularly haunted doll. They felt like we were slowly opening the lament configuration. How about the haunted doll? Yeah, it was one musty-ass doll, but that was all surface. We knew the game had untold depth. And I mean, the game wasn't what I remember it being. Definitely not the carnival of terror we remembered from our childhoods, no. I still remembered the sting of how scary it had been, and that was enough to make me uneasy. A little too slow paced for me, though. That was more like the type of games you and Francine used to play. You can catch up with everybody else. Has anyone heard from Pete? Actually, how did you guys even hear from him? Isn't there like no signal out here? Oh yeah, last time we had a signal was in the little mountain town not far from here. We stopped on the way in to eat and sponge up the final few drops of cell reception. Any good food in town? Not really. There's a Denny's where we didn't eat, and a place called Blister's Burgers where we absolutely did. Is that somebody's name? It is. The owner's name is Arthur Blisters. It reminded me of a place back in town with the giant hot dog outside. I love that hot dog. Me too. No word from Pete, though. Say hi to everybody. Cool. And you're here, huh? Do you know what's up with Cliff? Like, is he mad at me? Oh man, is he acting like he's mad at you? Yes, even more than usual. Damn, is it that bad? I don't remember him saying anything particularly shitty. Come to think of it, though, I don't remember him saying anything about you for a while. Even when I brought you up. I wonder if he's annoyed I got here late. Emily, he's been acting this way for months, maybe longer. He keeps bringing up how you live in the big city, that you're too good for us. It was all he would talk about for a while. Around the time he first started clinging to me constantly. Yikes. Sorry about that. It is what it is. You two are still super close, right? Yeah, I wish I could get rid of the guy. I'm joking. I don't want to get rid of him. I'll bring this up to him. You and I both know he wouldn't react well if I actually talked to him about it. This is going to take some subterfuge, and I can't promise it'll be done by the end of the night. But I'll try to bring it up. Thank you, Gary. That means a lot. Of course, buddy. Why don't you go do something else, Emily? I don't want to waste too much of your time. You're not wasting my time. Okay, I don't remember when the serial killer shows up. Pinkcliff, look who's here. You're not as good at it as you think you are, you know that? What? The asking questions so you can control people thing. Like, you can get the upper hand over people without them even knowing it. Like, you can control anything. What's this about? Are you doing okay? Yes, I'm fine. It's been a long trip. Gary pulled me aside this morning and told me you were worried about me. I'm worried about you too. I've missed you, Emily. Ah, I missed you too. Pfft. There's a lock on the front door, you know why? You couldn't unlock it? It's not the door itself, it's a separate machine. I knew there was something I didn't trust about this place. Guess the fancy security system needs power to deactivate. Seems pretty dumb. Wait, does this house not have any other exits? Nope. I double-checked as soon as I got here. Even the garage door doesn't work. How things been with you, Cliff? Same shit, different day. I'm still hanging in and not thrilled about it. Are you still doing construction work? Electrical work? What the hell kind of work are you doing now? I take what I can get. It's kind of day-to-day. Mostly it's been electrical stuff, yeah. We just talked about how college was a waste and how we wish we picked up a trade instead. Yep, living the dream. Mark, the contractor I've been working for, talks about how most of the worst accidents on a site don't happen during something dangerous. They happen when people get complacent. How bad are these accidents we're talking about? I've met wiremen who were missing fingers, hands, deep trenches out of their arms or legs. The worst again is when you're just not thinking. On your belly in a crawl space, if your head or chest goes over a live wire, that's 240 volts straight into your brain or your heart. You're pretty much done. You spend a lot of time looking for other jobs? Yeah, let me know if you have any tips. I've been spending a lot of time in the crawl space lately. Christ. I'll let you know if I hear anything. Cliff, I heard you actually saw a comet this time. Yeah, it's corny as shit, but when I saw it, my eyes welled up. Was it a big one? It was. It looked like a goddamn cartoon. Everybody else was too distracted to notice it. Honestly, it wasn't the same without you there. Ah, you have a way with these guys, and last night it would have helped. At times you could have cut the tension out there with a fucking knife. Because it's been a while since everyone's seen each other? Maybe. I think everybody is aware of how much time has passed and is wondering whether this tradition is worth keeping alive. What's the plan for tonight? I'm happy doing whatever. Once I'm done with the food we're going to eat, then I think the plan was literally question mark. Emily, go talk to the other kids and settle in. There's a binder full of rules for the house owner. I flipped through it. It's open to a page about the old PC in the master bedroom. Apparently it's got an auto exec set to launch Minesweeper as demo mode, which we're welcome to try as a curiosity. However, after use we're asked to spray compression air between the keys to ensure their longevity. Apparently we were supposed to pack our own compression air. It's open to a page about the house's electronic locks. Apparently they can only be toggled if they have power from a conduit in the living room. There aren't really instructions on how to do that. Open page about stove maintenance. I guess we need to soak the stovetop with a degreaser for 10 minutes after use. 20 if we use oil. It's open to a diagram of the kitchen cupboard. It's a walk-in. There's a specific place outlined in ballpoint pen for every one of the ingredients. There's a strange power box mounted on the wall. It looks like it can provide power to one of the two cables that leave the box on the left and right sides. But the box itself needs to be powered on first. There's a yellow and black striped cable coming from the bottom of the box from the floor. A yellow cable leads to the left side of the box out on the foyer. A teal cable leaves from the right side and up into the ceiling. Okay, don't know that. Locking mechanism doesn't seem to have power. The yellow cable leads into the power box in the living room. Okay, so there's something in the attic where I can shut off the power, I guess? I don't know. The output pressure on this pump should be set to 12 psi at all times. Do not touch. So that's 28. That's 20. How the hell did this even happen? Ehlers brand static pressure pumps operating basics. Every Ehlers brand static processing pump comes with a configurable set of pressure cylinders that can be arranged in any order. Normal cylinders increase PSI by 1 unit of 1 per unit of fluid. Heavy-duty cylinders reinforced with a bulkier house. Increased PSI output by 5 units of fluid. Input fluid amount is displayed on the left. Output PSI value on the right. Oh, is that the rules for the thing I just did? Okay, thanks. But we had to break the wall to get to the rules. So, wouldn't this have been better if this was already out before I mess with the machine? Okay, well, whatever. Ooh, that was a weird twist. Wait, who was that? Francine. So, Francine, I'm here. Oh, hey, Emily. Glad you can make it. Your room's down the hall. Yeah, sorry I'm late. Took longer to disentangle from the con than I thought I would. No need to apologize. Well, thanks for putting this whole thing together again. No problem. Hope you've been well. I've been good. Really busy. Just non-stop working. Seems like it's been paying off. I saw Pemberton at Borders. Congrats. Thanks. My 3rd grade art teacher started writing books for her grandkids and needed someone to draw them. And we kept in touch online, so I kind of lucked into that. How nice. That's very sweet. And I've done some ad stuff too. It's weird to run across some of it in the wild. I'll bet. What else are you up to? I mostly just work. I like doing it. Hey, if it makes you happy. It does. Since you're here, have you heard the house rules yet? The guy who owns the place is pretty precious about it, huh? I think this place is just important to him, but I'm glad you're all caught up. Oh, and by the way, something's wrong with the bathroom. That's not the start of a good story. Nope. They're old pipes, I guess, and they get backed up sometimes. They work, but there's this big weird pump in the wall that's supposed to keep things flowing. Right away, Cliff came in and messed with it, and I yelled at him, and now we're not going to touch it again. Got it. Oh, whoops. Cool. Francine, I heard you actually saw a comet this time. A meteor, not a comet, but yes, it was amazing. Humbling, kind of. Cliff said things were a little weird last night. Is everybody getting along okay? Cliff has a very binary response to people. It's hard to know how to stay on his good side. It's nice to be back in touch with everybody. It feels kind of like a dream. I'm glad you didn't get. I'm glad you didn't get hurt. That nobody got hurt. I mean, you're referring to the last time we went out to watch the Perseid? I had to look up how to pronounce that. It's been on my mind. Yeah, Emily. I wasn't paralyzed and I didn't go missing. I fell and hit my head. Sure, we spent a portion of the night in the ER, but that was its own kind of togetherness, wasn't it? Right. I have complicated feelings about that night, for sure. What do you think of the library? From an anthropological standpoint, they're fascinating. It's fun painting a picture of someone based on the contents of their bookshelf. As for the books themselves, they're not bad, per se, but very dated. Dated is good, right? It can be, but that's why I said dated instead of just old. The stuff is too old to love, too new to sell. He seems to have stopped collecting sometime in the 70s. There are signed first editions by Gary Snyder, Lawrence Ferlinghetti, but none of the spines are broken, like they were never read. More of a collection than the library, perhaps? Absolutely. These books are here to be surrounded by, not necessarily be read. You're piecing stuff together about the house owner, huh? I forget you didn't get to meet him. His name is Parker Nest. He seems like a pretty charming person. Maybe a little eccentric, though. He aggressively mentioned the parties he used to have here, how some of them ebbed and flowed for weeks at a time. So the weird old man owns this house. That owns this house is way cooler than we could ever hope to be. From a certain point of view, sure. He clearly wanted to reminisce about his glory days, casually dropping names of dead writers he knew. He kept mentioning Ken Casey and the electric Kool-Aid acid tests. Seems like they were in the same beatnik milieu, though I couldn't tell if Nest saw it as a party or an experiment. So Nest was a writer himself? He was, yes, though I hadn't read his work. For all we knew, he's an acid casualty who was in the right place at the right time. I'm not about to go snooping for evidence to the contrary. Ah, you used to love snooping. I also used to love mixing every pop together at Burger King. That doesn't mean I should keep doing it. I no longer feel the need to rummage through an old man's personal things. But if you're more comfortable digging, knock yourself out. Alright, I'm going to say hi to everybody. Bye. What? Is there all this stuff to look at? Really? Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus by Mary V. Shelley. Letter 1. Is this the entire Frankenstein? I mean, it's actually a relatively short book. It's real dense, though. It might actually be. Not that I could recognize it just reading little bits and pieces, but I didn't realize it was public domain. Otherwise, you know, how could it be here, right? Seems like all this stuff is placed here for you to waste time in the lead up to when the serial killer shows up. Or maybe the developer really likes Frankenstein. Which I think would be, you know, part of the lore of the game, perhaps. Yeah, this is the whole thing. I do recognize a little bit of it. I know we could make quite an evening of just reading some of the extra material in this game. Stuff, you know, not directly related to it. Stuff lying around, sort of like Oblivion or any Elder Scrolls games, or there's books lying around. I think it's kind of interesting that it would be here. Oh, time does freeze when you're reading. That's interesting. Again, I'm not sure if it's like a developer joke or if this is actually relevant to what's going to happen in the game. Well, this would have been a pain to type all this stuff in. Hopefully they got it from another source and could just copy-paste it into the engine. Let's see. The Chimpton Tipper, August 20th, 1974. It's happening last Tuesday. The group of young men and women run a gamut of creative and professional aspirations. A writer here, a hyperrealist painter here, an industrial engineer turned performance artist beside. The latter would be Clara Jones, whose reputation rapidly rose through the past year as a holder of revivalist happenings of the highest order, her work dazzling and frustrating poets and academics alike. Just last week, the group to which Jones belongs gathered in a disused steel plant beneath a meteor shower to take in her latest work, orchestrated with her creative partner, Parker Nest. Newspaper article. Oh, okay, that's it, huh? Oh, and that's all of Dracula? Drawer contains receipts for construction projects. A lot of sheet metal and rebar. This drawer full of bees. Dead bees individually encased in tiny plastic trays, but still. Drawer is empty. Drawers full of Christmas ornaments. Drawers full of small plastic baby figurines. Jesus. Drawers full of rocks. Drawers full of tiny unmarked vials. Drawers full of rulers of various shapes and sizes. This drawer is full of rubber bands. I actually have a drawer like that. Drawer full of dirt. Some mysteries are better left unsolved. This drawer full of various die. 6-sided, 12-sided, 20-sided. I guess this is what that 12 sticky note was all about. It's page 110 from the book In a Glass Darkly by Sheridan Lee Fanu. The book is down in the living room. Drawer has an empty case of some off-brand energy drink. Drawer is full of tiny skulls. Probably. Mice? Let's go with mice. Drawer full of pens. Drawer full of screws. There's a book in the living room. Right, how do I look at my inventory? Four two zero 110, page 110. Page 110. Isn't that the one with all the colored bars? So this is where the missing page from the study drawer came from. Now, what do these color bars mean? Oh, okay. Megan, I'm gonna try to fix this. We better try to figure the situation out. Okay. Two heavy gauge cables, one orange, one blue, lead from the ceiling and down into the floor. Well, that's right, I can hide. Look at me, it doesn't have power. Yellow cable runs out to the floor. This is what I packed? I know I was in a hurry, but this is 2 pairs of pants and no underwear. What the hell? This is so embarrassing. Let's see. 22 by 4s, oak untreated. 1 24 by 80 door, single pane, oak finish, heating. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff here. Clara, please arrange delivery directly to the house. Thank you. Kitchen chair should suffice. Check machine. I feel like I'm missing something. Not ready to solve this yet. Are you sure? Orange cable from the first floor snakes down from the ceiling and disappears into a hole partway up the wall. That looks right. No budding. I think the locking mechanism isn't controlled by the nearby device. Uh-oh. Oh, these camera angles. Cliff, hey, Emily. Cliff, you're an electrician, right? Can you help with the power outage? The lightning strike hit a transformer outside, but it's barely even on fire. All I need to do is reset the breaker, and that's a basic as hell fix. Problem is, the breaker box is usually close to the ground, which would put it in the cellar, and the cellar's locked. So we need to figure out how to unlock the cellar door. It's locked with an electronic keypad that takes a 3-digit code. I've already tried some of the more common passcodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the lines at diagonals. Really. Have you tried 666? I did. I told you I've already tried the most common passwords. And 667 and 420. It would be something to have 420 as a passcode. Emily. I'm not going to judge you if you use 420 or 69 or whatever as a passcode. It's a good bit. But we don't need to worry about that now. If it's open, let's head down and get it fixed. Now's not the time. We've got to hide. Strangely enough, I know where to hide. Or and I can just stay there like the entire night. As far as I know. It's Francine. She's dead. She's been stabbed. That's Gary. He's dead. My room's here, right? Oh, it makes noise? What? I think we're supposed to get killed. I mean, there aren't any other solutions. It's Cliff. He's dead. There's a knife wound in his neck. It's Megan. She's dead. There's a lot of blood. I don't know if anything, these static camera angles are going to kill me more than a serial killer is. Okay, I'm just curious if we can just sit here all night. Let's see what happens. Everybody else is already dead. I mean, if you put the entire contents of Frankenstein and Dracula into your game, I imagine that you would also have a gag ending where you would just hide in the closet all night. That's what I would think. You know what I find really funny is, I think it was the 90s, there was a movie called Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Had Robert De Niro in it, I think as Frankenstein's monster. And that movie cannot be farther from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein as can be. I mean, it's definitely not very faithful. It's kind of strange. Just like when Francis Ford Coppola made Bram Stoker's Dracula, I was like, this is not Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is your damn Dracula. You're afraid to put your own name on it? What the hell, man? I mean, she has these panic attacks. Or, I mean, you know, she breathes heavy and is panicked. When that serial killer's schlepping around. It's weird, too, because it's like, where did he come from? Did he come from here? From the basement? I guess that's the case. You don't have time to figure out how to get the basement door open, and there's no instructions, so I wonder if, like, after so many murder loops, you eventually get that code in order to open the front door. It might be set up like that. That's my guess. Yeah, they're set up like a Uno or what was the other one? Where it's like time death loops. The name escapes me right now, but it's a pretty well regarded visual novel and anime. I mean, there's been several games like that. Or like RE0 comes to mind for something like that as well. But I'm thinking of the original visual novels that kind of kickstarted that whole, you know, die and repeat storyline. And I'd actually love to play those on the channel, but they're heavily copyrighted. So my channel would get well over the required number of strikes to automatically shut down and remove the channel just by playing one of those visual novels. Unless we turn off all the music, which is kind of a shame to have to turn off every single piece of music, since that's where the source of the copyright strikes are. It's really strange because in, well, I mean, it's through litigation, but in Japan, because of the music industry there is protected a little bit better than it is over here. You know, individual artists have their own copyright on songs that they arrange to be placed in games, right? So maybe an artist will actually write a song for a game, but then that artist's work is its own separate copyright from the game. In the States, we try to copyright all the music underneath the same title holder, you know, without regard to the actual artist. So, you know, he'll make a game, and the house artist will make some songs on there, but that'll all be under the copyright of the publisher. Whereas over in Japan, you may have music made by another party, or even by the in-house party, and then that is owned by the artist themselves, the musician, or the publisher, you know, the music publisher. So, you know, you can very, you know, unintentionally drive your entire channel down by doing a let's play of a game. This guy doesn't go away, huh? I mean, he just keeps roaming. He doesn't ever open that door. I think this is a cool concept. So yeah, I'd love to play like certain very pivotal visual novels on here, especially horror visual novels, but I just can't ever get past the copyright. And some of those visual novels don't even let you turn off the music. I mean, all the modern ones do, but like some of the older ones, it's like you can't turn it off. I think at some point in time we're going to try to do some of the Seventh Heaven visual novels, but again, oh, see, the time got reset to 12 a.m. So it only goes until 4, and then the loop starts over. Interesting. Okay, so you have to die, I think. I don't think there's any other way around this. But here the loop starts at 7. Front door's locked. Okay, I gotta get out of here. What if that thing shows up again? The front door might be the only way out of here. I'll have to figure out this lock. Gary. Hey, Emily. I'm so glad to see you. Gary, what is this? Where am I? Good to see you too, Gary. Are you doing alright? I was just here. I just saw this place. All of you guys. Something came for us. It's still here. I'm fine. Sorry I'm late. Oh. Okay. Emily, I'm serious. You look pretty rattled. Long day? It killed us. It came from nowhere. Yeah, the con just took it all out of me. Too much social pressure all in one weekend, you know? I'm glad to have finally made it here, though. This is going to be a good night. Hell yeah, this is just like old times. Emily, maybe you should go lie down or something. You've had a long night, haven't you? Like, we're supposed to have a relaxing weekend. Yeah, maybe I just need to calm down. Okay, so somebody does open this door at some point in time. Remember, the fluid in this tank is the source for all pumps in the house. When improperly calibrated, pumps positioned above this tank will drain automatically with gravity. For pumps positioned below, a manual drain will be necessary using this button. (1913). When was he born? 73? Chimpton Tipper, October 18th, 1978. Review, Carpenter's Deli at the end of its struggle. Pictured Carpenter's Deli at its heyday. Its waitstaff surrounding the corner booth of mainstay customer and described self-local guru, Parker Nest. Some commentators noted a correlation between Nest disappearing from his daily lunches and eventually... Some commentators noted a correlation between Nest disappearing from his daily lunches and the eventuality of Carpenter's downfall. I guess he ate there a lot. Yeah, we read the guest book before. Cliff. Look who's here. Hi, Emily. You seem kind of stressed out. You should go relax for a few. Cooking safety, Eggplant parm in progress. So the owner didn't want to have knives in the house because he wants to have the only knife in the house. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so we've got to figure out the... combination to the basement with, before the serial killer opens it. And then we got to figure out how to set power to the front door lock so that we can open the door. It's empty? There's no way I totally forgot to pack. What the hell? Okay, so we need some clues as to getting the... One of the books is missing from the otherwise full bookshelf. Francine, hey. Hi, Emily. I've been wanting to say to you, this morning I heard Cliff talking with Gary about how much he misses you and how he's frustrated that he hasn't heard from you in a while. I'm guessing those weren't the words Cliff used. No, they weren't. He was really spitting venom to all of us. Gary talked him down, though. I thought it was interesting to hear Gary speaking on your behalf, working to be sure Cliff would be excited to see you. Cliff was that down on me, huh? You know how fickle Cliff is. He does have a short memory. You're right. I think Gary just needed to remind him of how much he cares about you. It was very prescient of him to do that before you even got here. Somehow Gary remembered me talking to him about Cliff. Prescient, yeah. How did he know Cliff was going to make things weird? Are you doing okay, Emily? Maybe you should go sit down or something. Yeah, 1974 was when this little get-together they had happened. Is that one still empty? It's page 110 from the book Alas Darkly by Sheridan Le Fanu. Can I actually lay down? Parker, thank you for the vials. I swear those are the last I'll need. Do remember to change your bandages because I do not plan on taking you to the ER again. The work will be done soon. Rest assured, it is as convoluted as you feared. See. So which is my room? The red door? Is that the one that's supposed to lead to the attic? This is where the serial killer comes from. Post notes 12. Flyer for an electronic lock. Hey, it's from the 80s. Yeah. Read the note. Clara, someone will be coming by from the electronics store to do the installation. Have them set the passcode as specific on the form and lock up the schematic and combination in the cellar cage when done. Not let them enter the attic. Thank you. Parker, why are you so obsessed with security? I can't tell if you're working to keep something out or keep something in, and why would they even want to go into the attic? I want to see you leave the house again someday. Okay, so the combination's in the attic. Eulogy for the chosen few. Holy lightning strikes thrice. You are baptized in the great gunshot of it. The halo of your skull makes against the night. Oh yeah. It's like a weird thing. Let's see, we can hide in there. Is this my room? No, this is the bathroom. Is the place still busted up? It's not. Okay, so that mean when the power goes out, does the basement open? Okay, this is when the basement opens. Okay, and that responds to the noise upstairs. There's a tunnel near the floor that, when I look into the darkness, seems to stretch into infinity. Just looking at it makes me want to hyperventilate. I don't much want to know what's on the other end, but metal bars stop me from finding out. those of the three. Of hollow tubes and animal spirits. Clara Jones, hydraulic cylinders, oil, human blood, 1979. The body is machine, the body is a house. The same blood, the same thoughts recycled, gushing, cellar to attic, atrium to ventricle. There's a beauty to the well-oiled symphony of it, the furnace of the heart, the electric grid of nerve endings, lungs stuffed with asbestos, the organs swelling proudly against the floorboards, the crawl spaces littered with the corpses of animals and the bodies of men. The lights are on. There's nobody home. But a body gets sick. Wood rots. Machines rust. House melts into something worse. Nature pours a vacuum and will punish you for creating one. You will suffer the relentless function of your own decay. A body made to live. A machine built to die. Yeah. I can't do anything about it yet. Blue cable I saw on the first floor leads to the ceiling down through the hole in the wall. I feel like I'm missing something. I'm not ready to solve this yet. The sticky note on the power box has a drawing of a little sea urchin. Or maybe one of those old nautical mines or something. What time does the serial killer come? Is he already here? He is already here. Did he kill everyone? Am I back to 7 o'clock? No. Oh, I'm going even further back in time. I recognize you. Huh? You're the one with a sense of being better than the things you're better than. I understand where you came from. I've been there. I am there. What? Can I help you? I'm trying very hard to leave there. If you're anything like me, you're probably expecting a reward, but winning only gets you in deeper. Are you trying to find a way to keep your elbows clean? I'm there with you. I see your left arm raise. I'm curious about the state of your right eye. I'm just trying to guess at my car, dude. Who do you show your ticket to? Are you going to the train station? The rubble aside the train station? Are you going beneath the train station? Have a good night. Okay, back to 7. But now I have a bunch of stuff. 1 panel. Locker. Front door lock. Pump guide. Bathroom pump. Book clue. 110. Is that what this is? Nope. Huh. Okay, well, I always stop it there. This is audap. You've been watching Homebody running on the Steam Deck. Yeah, I mean, it runs good on Steam Deck. I mean, there's no problems so far I've found. But, you know, it is a simpler game, and right now it's available for every platform out there anyway. So I would imagine the Steam Deck would not have problems with this, unless there was some specific problem with the Steam OS. But, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess the more you die, then the more you learn, and hopefully you can solve the puzzles sooner, so you can get out of the house sooner. It seems like maybe you learn more the more times you die. I just don't know. I don't know if we have any clues at this time, or enough clues at this time to make any progress. So yeah, check it out. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.